battery is that?
No, I'm glad you asked that. We had never been able to.
So at this point right now in our prototyping stage, and based on the estimates that we've done, we're going to have a month and a half battery life. The interesting thing about our device is that it's not continuous GPS tracking. So once you push that button on your iPhone, the device will use power to find out where its location is at. It will not be using power the rest of the time. And so it's actually dependent on how often you use the device. So if you happen to lose items around 2 to 3 times a day, you can get about a 45-day battery life off it. If you think you're an organized person, maybe you can make it last for a year, but that's up to you. Even if you have a device on the move that may be left in a taxi or a subway, we can offer an hour of continuous tracking with 30-second increments.
Can you replace the battery?
The battery will be rechargeable, actually. So it'll be a 500 milliamp lithium battery that will provide a charger for. And it'll be charged through a micro USB port.
Yes.
So it uses Wi-Fi for tracking, right? Also, so it can be used with a single Wi-Fi or needs multiple Wi-Fi for tracking?
So let me explain that a bit more clearly. So in outdoor environments, such as open field, GPS is perfectly satisfactory using 24 satellites in space to give you a pretty precise location. Now, in the city environments, the device will have a Wi-Fi antenna that will connect to various Wi-Fi networks around it, and based on the signal strength of the networks around it, it will determine its location. So it can be, the more Wi-Fi networks are around it, the more accurate the position is. But with one Wi-Fi network, we can still get a very accurate position. And keep in mind that our device also has Bluetooth in it. So all we need to do is get the user within a 10-foot or 15-foot radius, and the Bluetooth leads them directly within inches of the product.
How does it attach the other wallet?
So we will be providing stickers with the packaging, so you can stick it onto the back of a tablet or a laptop, or you can also slide it in your wallet. The product actually has a little hole in the top right corner, so it can slide on the keychain as well.
If it's turned off, and you go to back, how do you activate it? The device is 20 miles away, and I've got my phone, I can search for it.
Exactly, glad you asked that. So it actually has a GSM cellular chip inside of it. So when you hit that button on your phone, the GSM module, which is a power signal, will receive a signal, and it'll tell all the other chips inside of the device to start looking for a location.
Have you guys heard about Wi-Fi SLAM? So we are aware that there are many products out there that use the Wi-Fi technology or the GPS technology, but there really aren't any large products out there that are trying to fulfill the same niche and the same need as us and incorporate all these technologies together.
The Wi-Fi SLAM does the same thing. It tracks the item using Wi-Fi. Is that right?
So yeah, Wi-Fi SLAM is a purely Wi-Fi product only. We're the first device in the entire market, as I mentioned before, to use all the devices in one. So we take GPS, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, as well as cellular triangulation, so you can actually find it anywhere, not just in locations where there are Wi-Fi.
Have you validated the pricing with any customers?
So essentially with our revenue model, we had two options going into this. We either had a solely prepaid model, which would have a much higher price because it's so difficult to estimate how many times over the life of the device the customer will be using the tracks, right? So let's say we went with this pay-per-use model. And so given the current market where you have the just Bluetooth trackers people talked about that are in that $25 to $35 range, and then you have those just GPS trackers that are on the $100, $200 range with the $10 a month subscription model, all the people we've talked to, so we've talked to a couple adults, a couple students here at the program, a couple of our mentors, and everyone thinks that that $40 price range is pretty accurate given that we're offering a much greater functionality than those Bluetooth stickers for a very comparable price at $10 to $15 more expensive. And the $5 for the 100 additional tracks, given that most people we talk to in our surveys as well, they believe they only use their items. So let's say you have one good device just for your keys. So each person has the perception that they're going to lose that item maybe 50 to 60 times. And is already covering that. No.
What message will the item say if you lose your, like your keys, for example, in a body of water in the ocean or something like
Interesting scenario. So there are a couple of other trackers that are waterproof. Now, our initial prototype and our initial service will not be waterproof, but we will look to develop that with our Kickstarter funds. Depending on how much we raise, if we go over our goal, we will be able to offer a waterproof product.
Which would be an extra cost, or how would that be?
So waterproofing a device like this is actually fairly easy. We can waterproof either the individual components inside of the device, which is something that the new Galaxy Samsung does, or we can just have a completely waterproof case, which is probably the route we'll go to tackle that problem.
Have you sourced the battery?
So the battery, we're still in prototyping stage, but the battery that we will be using is a 500 milliamp lithium polymer battery that will, and that'll be able to fit in that core size device as well.
How long does that last? Because I want it for my iPhone.
Well, we're probably not going to be targeting things like iPhone at the beginning because there's Find My iPhone and things like that for electronic devices. But if your iPhone does run out of battery and stuff like that doesn't work, the device will be able to last, let's say you don't use it at all, the device will be able to last around 6 to 7 months. And as I mentioned before, there are 100 tracks. So if you press that Find Device button 100 times, then the battery will go out.
Sorry, last question. I think this is something that maybe you guys may have already talked about, but it could be an issue, which is what happens when the device either falls off or somebody takes it off. Where, we can talk about theft, we can talk about whatever. What's the ultimate promise that you're making to consumers? Because I noticed one of you said your devices will never be lost, right? But they still can be if somebody takes it off. So do you have an insurance policy in place for that? Do you have, a branding strategy in case that does happen? In case, let's say, someone leaves the tracker in the middle of the field and they go and find the tracker. How do you deal with that?
Right. So our initial market, our initial value proposition is more talking about misplaced items. So one thing we're trying to solve is the problem of theft, and that's going to come with research and development and how exactly we're going to target that issue. However, what we're thinking right now is that so when we say nothing is lost, what we mean by this is if you lose your keys somewhere, you can pull on our app and know exactly where they are. So it's not truly lost. Just to clarify that. And then the risk of someone taking the device off is, so let's say someone steals your bike, and the risk of them taking that device off as well, we believe right now it's fairly minimal because of the fact that it's not something that everyone, it's going to be a little square shape as you saw earlier, right? So it's not something that everyone is going to see, oh, I know there's a tracker. We're trying to design it to one and fairly easy so that does not become an issue. However, as the part does become well known, that could become an issue, and we've thought about maybe investing in research and development funds into creating a separate model